blue horse, but it's a blue horse with someone riding on it. And so but then the person on the blue horse then said to him, please come with me to the land of the Nagas. We have an issue we need your help with. But so the, the truth practitioner didn't allow that to interrupt his practice, and he intended to help them later once he's done, but he's not going to cut his practice short. He's going to complete his practice first because he already started it. So he didn't stop his practice. And he waited until the end, but by the time he was finished, the horse was gone. But if we imagine imagine that had he stopped midway and actually followed the request, then he may have just ended up in the Naga land, but he didn't. So that is that's how he a sign of how he would have just maybe gone into confusion and then maybe made a mistake.
我到这一次，呢，我这一次他俺来的去接是啥的拉不上，
啊，
就听说话这有了，
嗯哼，
这有话这一次他来不有嘛了哇，
是吧？
他没来不多呀，他俺来不啥的有啥的，是来不啥的，过的就送的到晚上就来不去那接不是啥的是，去呢，我们都会，
并
他的
并
他到晚你有了哇，那
嗯
就之前没你有了哇，
嗯，
我他这一次来不有嘛了哇。
是吧？
这一天来不差呢，
嗯，
唐伯来不差呢，可就送了啊。
是，
从头到台湾我不接来的，他妈不绕去旅游啥了啊？
嗯，
台湾我不要嘛人出去的，这光从那接不是啥了啊？
哦，嗯哼，
哦，等从那接不是啥的，可要嘛的些啥了啥？等从那接，
嗯哼，嗯
这里
哼，
他可
yeah.
是
So yeah. So
出外出外的，他是出外的开始先多对于那的出送对他娘们在一起的用呢，提纲了等上下的就送的等出外往学着去的。
嗯哼，
他娘们他妈他今天出来的把出来可能是往脚头嘛，出来的这有话题往脚头嘛。
嗯哼，
我做这方面去拉人，你对他娘们去的讲，等于拖家我啥有呢？他过去跑脚嘛，老个，
嗯哼，
等着他去过去了。
嗯哼。So actually, so the blue horse was from the Nagas. So, apparently, it was a confusion. It was a delusion. It was an illusion. So there was no real horse. It was just like an imagination, basically. There was no real blue horse. But so had he followed the request of the man on the blue horse that didn't really exist and went with him. So because the Nagaland, no, because they were next to a lake, right? And so because the Nagas are in the lake, then he might have jumped into the lake and drowned there, because there was no real Nagaland or horse there. It was just his confusion. But so had he followed it, he would have probably drowned there. And so that's the point here, that the following confusion, how it can lead to like these kind of things, like trouble, and the benefits of not interrupting one's practice and not becoming like led away, like led astray by various appearances. Actually, Drupal Yeshe, which is Drupal's own retreat master, he said that whatever happens when you practice, even if it like a lightning bolt strikes from above, or the earth quakes, you don't interrupt your practice no matter what happens.
呢，这就把唐伯这就之前没人有了哇。
嗯，
这唐伯他去哪接？这些说啥的话是拉上，这拉些说可说什么？
哦，唐伯点了집사
唐伯他来，
哦
他
哦대백
头有
哦
嘛哇？
嗯哼
后面的唐伯这眼来差呢，这
哦
从真去哪接？这些说啥的哇？
哦这是什么
我是
哦so what happened to
这一次来不他来不要嘛，然后去哪接差？
yeah so the reason why the other those butcher practitioners, the reason why the friend ended up never arriving actually, is because he actually did jump into that lake. He did also apparently encounter that horse, and he was led astray by the confusion, and he did jump into the lake, and so that's why he didn't arrive, because he drowned in the lake.
咱好活动，这就是。哦，真的，我这里咱这把线呢，啥的，咱这个都同样出完这把意思，这把线呢啥趟这是，这把这把线呢啥趟这，头发线呢这趟这是，咱这你可以过去怎么了？咱娘们这样了，咱这你可以这把我呢，咱这你可以往说着说的吧，咱们这面特别听什么了？这边老了，
Oh.
咱们这面特别听，特别听是有了，特别听。
Mhm.
明明因为关别等是没怕没把英文没把关别等，我拉了我现在现在我说咱拉当这话起点拉这行那头嘛的，头发起那这趟这是现在这哦他这话的话这从那拉当，这话是一头那他当这个的是他当，哦真的头发是一那这趟这着个的是，出发一那这趟这啥出发的那这真这真能破是吧？真正能破人不是现。 见面现在我查些什么来的？别咱真正能跑人不现在现阶段没把这我这些现在是
Benzin nam tokare.
真正能跑人不些是
Mm.
现阶段见面现在我查些现见面阶段没把社会这边我查全部都中多，那他们没来的办这些送的查什么去？这俺们是先把有这个就这俺们是先把有这是送的 notice。 我咱这往这也啥的。
Um, and so then next question is, so what about those who have a connection with just the general Dharma? And so she responds, it destroys, still, if you practice CHOD, it destroys confusion, because previously he talked about the general Dharma. So it destroys confusion about the ultimate nature. It breaks hope. If one breaks from hope, one separates from the worldly gods. If one breaks from doubt, one separates from the demons. Also, when one breaks from confusion, one separates from the evil spirits. And so Milarepa, regarding that, said, no, breaking from doubt, one parts from demons and from gods. So when you but no, he said that when you let's see, in the view, there are no gods and there are no demons. That is the confidence, knowing that is the confidence in the view, and that view is established through confidence in the undistracted, like, non-conceptual state of meditation. If you have hopes in gods, then the gods will remain. And if you are afraid of demons, then the demons will remain. But if you're able to eliminate your hopes and your fears, if you eliminate your hopes, then you will encounter gods. If otherwise, if not, then you will encounter demons. So what we call a demon essentially is nothing but the grasping at a reality, the grasping at that true existence. Milarepa himself was challenged by the demoness Dancing Mom, the rock demoness, and so during that encounter, Milarepa realized that, and this precious thought that I hold on to, that something truly exists, is actually baseless and unborn. It's really an incredible play that the self plays. And that was when Dasimura the demoness said that there are even more of me. So the more he grasps at demons, the more demons will arise.
这东西能这做，但常常在他这穷穷着，看上去测试是来弄起来，我听着用这个了哇，常常说现当起，说先换这说很多，可是这说很多，说先当起，他这个就是让他这突然的这从他白去，这有就是让当不过那可能能到这起。真的这说很多，但真的出来讲出桥说的了哇。真的给马当我说配别解有的，别解那中头解有的这。这就把这就自己送的茶壶在地头上了下，茶壶在那地这个就做生活上的个，马个的是一个是生活别人不有了，或者生活别人不有了，没说破人个的，生活别解个了。晓得生活做弄着的小小的了下，弄家的的跑起来多少多少晓得，但混这的上啥了，拍这可以拉我啥的，这拍可以拉那真的。生活也变多有嘛，配拉嘛了，可这里穷的是哪这个嘛？在穷那里，生活没有嘛了，有些在穷的这个，这生活给的大是，生活到底别扯个了吧？生活的大是的。그래 그 다치 지내지 않았마 야르다 코난타 중대도 차고고 제가로를 센 통쇼단 제 예라도 이제 야도 다 그래서 야도 야르제 좋아지디 코난 다른 야 아이콘데 다른 사람이 가로를 다르도 잠냐 아이고 그 당원 이 코난 당고 그디 셰쇼래다 셰쇼 제 어디리 사대데 제 남나 다리 가서 제 도와데 창미 세 로트 저 신앙시 제 파악을 아담나 그래서 되나 이제 되나 이다 샘소 그래서
So sometimes also, as mentioned before during the section when we discussed like the different triggers, and then how we master these situations of when we encounter different circumstances like gods and demons and so on. And so the point here also was that often the point is that these are kind of illusory projections of our own mind. So sometimes it's possible that when you are afraid of something, that your mind creates that perception of that thing. So when you think there is some a ghost or some spirit, so you think it's coming, it's there. For example, in the channel ground or wherever you are, if you think it's there, because of your own confused perception, you're creating this perception of it, of whatever you're afraid of in your own mind, and then it seems that way to you. There's one story about also Dublin's homeland, another true practitioner. He was practicing, there was a true practitioner practicing in a cave. It was summertime, and so in summertime they have quite long nettles that grow quite tall in Tibet, almost like as tall as people, human sized. So there is like long nettles in front of the cave, and it was also a bit windy. The wind what was blowing through, so the nettles were like swaying, moving a bit. And so when he saw like in the dark, this kind of swaying nettles, he thought that this is a demon, is a ghost. And so he shouted a few pets, but then because it was just nettles in the wind, they kept moving. They didn't stop. And so then he was so afraid and thinking that's a demon that he decided to attack it. And so he jumped straight into the nettles. You know what happens when you jump into nettles. That his whole body was stung really badly by the nettles. And then also then later he kept thinking, so there must go it's got to be something. And so then he saw something, kind of a white, a ground thing, and then he thought this is the ghost. That must be the ghost. So he threw a rock at it. Later it turned out that it was actually his Damaru drum that was then broken because he threw the rock at it. So this is often what can happen when we create things in our mind. For example, like with that other text we just mentioned by Jagma Rinpoche, where even though the corpse isn't doing anything, to our mind it may look like they're making grimaces, or they're moving and so on. So that's because we create that in our mind.
真的，他这里马儿送的，他熊去偏用熊，这些是真的。他就当个啥说啥听那偏用这有的话，才去真的参巴当去。 당马这个推吧，实际就上推吧，确实人不去吧。但今天中国去，但是中把这些实际就上推吧，其他些的企业是，其他些企业这个啥来做啥噻？这没关系，在可能蛮多了吧，现在我是娘是两个人中多。
Um, and so then after that in our text, there's a section on the benefits of CHOD practice. So the benefits of this particular Gozali CHOD by Jidin Sumgun. So it says the benefits of this particular CHOD practice related to the pacification of suffering. The Shiji, according to Sipadamba Sangye and Martin Lapton's intent, and Jigten Sumgön's intent, must be practiced unmistakenly.
这蛮多人娘是呢，他的课上我接上，他接我话去过的，但我话去呀，他没时间，就课堂能有嘛了，他等下中我嘛了，他东西这个也是。
So we mentioned in the beginning that a text consists of the preliminaries, the main part, and the dedication. And so there is no separate dedication section in the CHOD text, but we just end the CHOD with our normal dedications.
真的，他在那娘是啷那是他偏用着我的，他在娘是几点钟中的呢？他在偏用他娘是啷那操作吧的，或者一些吧，我是他操作这个的，或者一些这个的是。多节率了，旁线米吧，当晚的早南分一些操作就这种，他多节率噻，他我说绿经济的了这样的，他在我说在咱们这厂嘛，绿接班这边的这样穷学的在，或者让我在咱们这厂嘛，那啥东啊厂嘛在，那啥东啊特别牛，什么他的配总有了。年龄数据彭博的是，年龄数据彭博的，马托团呢用些律师，那这东啊特别重视，到那他可成就的是，总有了到那他可成就的是，我这种在哪里，马托的那啥东啊从马成就，这旁边没把怕当下呢，但那啥东啊是用多也有嘛了哇，我没别真的说那么操作过一些错的成就作为的是，那意思总多。
So then next the text mentions the benefits of the truth practice. And so it says when by practicing in this way for sessions, one accumulates, one perfects the accumulation of merit, and obstacles will become pacified. And by offering the Vajra body without holding back, without attachment, um, one accumulates great merit and wisdom. The two accumulations of merit and wisdom are accomplished. And so these instructions or the benefits are mentioned by Jiten Sumgan. And so if you practice in this way, the practice accumulates merit, and through this practice you accumulate merit and pacify obstacles. And actually, all of our obstacles and sickness, our sufferings, they come from this clinging. They come from this clinging to the body. So, but it says by offering the Vajra body, therefore you accumulate merit and wisdom. Mila Reba had said that when not realized, then this this aggregate of the body, this kind of this, the ripened body of consisting of the four elements, the material body, is the basis of all sickness and suffering. But when realized, it is realized as the union, as in union with the deity. So when and that is why we make this offering. When if you let go of the body without holding back, without attachment, then having let go of the very basis of your suffering, there is no more basis for you to experience sickness and suffering. And so therefore you accumulate great merit.
真的浏览这下面人大概蛮几位，是的，浏览这下面，浏经济活的，他对种这什么啥不出是吧？浏经济活的，他对种是，我在哪里？在浏经济活，他对出种出是啥吧？真的是这下面人是大概蛮几位是吧？他大概蛮几位，没他们买有啊，他没他们买有，就还是拉没。 没去拉，你个没买啦。当我做从嘛六个人在去个的，让提升这些呢，这忙不在穷个了，他经济没进去吃个的是，切卡他普卡索卡，没着弄着啦，所谓看讲嘛，做是吧？这是上面弄出个嘛的是，不同多。
It says then for the next one, when you hold no attachment to the body and do not consider the body as a self, then neither humans or non-humans will find a way to harm you or obstruct you. Patrul Rinpoche had said that when by destroying the fixation to the body, the destruction of the fixation of the body destroys all other demons and spirits. And so that's because it all arises based on the body. And then it says in that commentary, curses, magic daggers, sorcery, the enemies of fire or wind, and so on. Nothing can harm you. So it's normally because normally we worry about what's going to happen to the body. So it's because of this having this vulnerability of the body that we give rise to all kinds of fears. And so it all comes from that. So therefore, if we let go of that, then our fear also has no foothold.
我真的知道军头去把马中央子做堂托朗所，他们家呢，突然伢们是两把过把拉斯，在那伢们俩突击机头下把学送多他，那就这是。
And then even if you can't, even if you cannot practice constantly, you should make a commitment to practice at least once daily at dusk or dawn, and hold this instruction in your heart and practice diligently.
我他是他俺做的体穷的，在茶上就当的体做没时间么多下，但爱科上还那个人爱科上的，你看什么的，感觉恐怕是做的，真的马前老中就是从说这个样的这里在确实的是嘛在这一条把这样子的开始呢就经过了嘛的提供的用面么多下了，这是真的在对说呢要塞的这上的做这个样的事在俺那在老的样的事的。马上就去考研把这查爽。
So this completes the instructions and church, and so also there is no the text, no like a formal text that I've actually been basing this commentary on, but it's actually something that I have compiled together through my own research. So I was trying to put together some different commentaries, different instructions, because there's not so much in the church itself. The commentary is really quite brief. So I looked into Chigden Sumgen teachings and then some past Kagyu masters and a magic lapdon and put something together just for me to use during the teachings as a commentary. So I just put it together in a way so it's easy for me to go through it and read. And so that is that commentary that we have now finished.
我这期真的当那里嘛谈判上去去没那里边讲我从小到那么老小那样。对，但没来这边给谈判上去了，他们就东海的学习拿了这个，这谈判上去怎么来这边了？我的中的，他们就东海的学习，他东海的拍学习的话，东海的学习，我这东南几部门对战呢，是东南几部门这种对战呢，都是中国的加外，都呀，但中国在加呀啥，在加呀意思，他怎么总想呢？就这个，
So, and then at the end of that, there's one instruction that was given by Padamba Sangye during the time of encountering Milarepa. Remember, we spoke about their encounter, and Milarepa at that point requested Padamba Sangye to give instructions on the CHOD of CHOD, which is the CHOD is the pacification of suffering. And then Padamba Sangha responded in the form of a song of realization. So then here's that song where he teaches on the CHOD, the pacification of suffering. So it begins with so the the Dharma, the holy Dharma that pacifies suffering, the CHOD, when spirits, whether male or female, need to be tamed, then this CHOD, it is this Dharma, then it means to practice the yogic discipline.
와, 근데 다들 너 룰라 나사 총자는 이래 이제 이제 와. 나 룰 나사 총자는 얘기 과제 있으면 냠내 치고래. 이래 있잖아. 또 냠내 동이 있어요. 얘기 있잖아. 다 되게 많이 받지네. 다 냠내 치나. 진짜 교사래다. 대치. 남포 참모 제자나. 영모 혼좀 동고 남포 참모 제자나. 영모 혼좀 동와 있어. 다 남포 참모 제자 영모서 혼좀 동래서 남포 참모 제자 영모서 제자 혼좀 동 년보 대야 세자 요사 말에 되나 다고 냠내한테 치네 냠내한테 봐 영문 좀 투야 제 답에 가면 냠내한테 티케 영문 좀 투야 된주 요사로 와
Next line says, when sickness strikes the body, then it is so. This practice means to blend space and awareness into one. That is, so blending space and awareness means that the awareness rests in an empty state and is undistracted. And then next he says, when subtle thoughts arise, this practice means to the shije is to crush the afflictive emotions with a powerful resolve. So crushing with a powerful resolve here means that you don't apply a certain antidote. You just remain in the view, in the natural state of the mind, and just through remaining within that view, you destroy the afflictive emotions.
와 근데 다천도 직보 거트 예자나 리과 젠반 다 랑직보 데데다 랑직보 데데 리과 젠반 잡아니 리과 젠보 세나다 세면 남포 망고래 와 테킨 한다 냠내 강 조쇼스 와 세면 남포 마 젠발 세나 투로 미반다 오더라 남포 투로 망고 와치네 와 젠반 잡아니 망보 세트 도자나 사 망보 세트 강샤는 거 왔다 와니 다제 라면다 샤르츠로 와티킨 거 왔다 그래스 다 요사 因为前那配置真完，他前一周的呢，配线的也真多，前线的他光头是我没办法，这前呢配线也真多，做呢这把就把做那这些，当然做这样的，这把怕就说是，但做的过你不基本上了，过呢前一次交吧，延续交吧，过呢延续交吧，现在这个在过呢，他在东半夜是两年气候做些什么来的，交吧意思。
Mhm. And then next, it says when staying alone or kind of sleeping alone, but when being alone in solitude, it means resting in naked awareness. And so this resting in naked awareness means to remain naked. Here means to be without thought. Naked awareness is the thought-free mind. So the thoughts are like the clothing. So with a thought-free mind, so unspoiled by any kind of mental fabrication. So you're stripped of all concepts. And then when staying among many people, it means looking directly at whatever arises. So you meet appearances without distraction and grasping. And then when sinking into dullness, that is when you lose your clarity, when the mind becomes unclear, it means lifting the mind with a sharp pet. And then when scattering occurs, the mind becomes scattered, it means cut through the root of distractions. And when agitated and wild thoughts arise, it means resting in space, in a spacious state of mind without grasping at those thoughts that arise.
我真的到写把有钱长吧，那在你同的吧，到写把有把钱长着呢，提供我大确实。我他们就动啊了，实际那单眼羊头，单眼他们穷那羊头呢，单眼把他们穷那羊头那个嘞是，那么早起来经济做，是吧？这那么早出就得看着经济去，那啥去呢？我那啥穷那这你们俩去呀，活动去都不是，你们俩空白当头要骗多少吧？那啥听，其实你们俩在现在不是去头的。往中啊，其他经济，他轮中其实我才说经济些，其他穷那南头弄，其他的经济，真其他的南，前面这啥先头说啥了吧？但前面这啥呢？先头说啥？但前没来的这种啊，前面这呢是啦，其实那么前面上是，那么前面上，前面你块活的题，但前面因为这啥先说啥了吧？去吧，这啥其实他们就动啊了，实际的是，对什么叫做公法拉是。我在推上叫他们去光把意思，都是强去上车意思，看着的也做人意思，他就得去打嘛些，研究那些当没啊意思，没啊的对面他们就懂啊实际那种多在马路上呢，那就是他们。
And then it continues when consciousness chases outer objects, the praktishijem means to look directly at their essence, at the nature of the chasing. It says then this holy dharma that pacifies suffering turns bad omens into auspicious signs. It delights. It means delighting in whatever thoughts arise. It means transforming sickness into the path, meaning that when you encounter sickness, you make it your practice, so it actually strengthens your practice. It means to rejoice in whatever appears. It takes the approaching death as the path itself, and it embraces the Lord of Death with joy. Milarepa said that if you fear, I fear, so I fear death. With fearing death, I went to the mountains, in mountain retreat. I practiced diligently, knowing that the timing of death is uncertain. And in the midst, I found the confidence, the strongholds of immortality, of deathlessness. Then again, this text continues here. So this Dharma that pacifies suffering, the Shichim, it is the enlightened intent of all the Buddhas of the three times. It is the secret words of Vajradhara. It is the heart essence of the four classes of Dakinis. It is the essential instruction of the four tantras. It is the life essence of the four, no, of the whispered lineage, lifeblood of the whispered lineage, kind of the pith of the oral whispered lineage, and it is the skillful key to those pith instructions. It is the holy dharma that pacifies suffering.
我真的打你工查吧，其实其实往那种就看着去广大，我真的我打你工克拉的是哪看的？虽然他忙不来，但你工克拉去，我在学堂说比比他的好。
I stop here for lunch and dedicate on page 30, 32, 34,
他就好了。
34.
特别健康胖脚来咱北京的来广播的着急，看我见的年民之中把今天送进广播所完的。看开电把个家了有头电天在几不个现在这间都电排线东山这个电气把拉了接。
In the presence of the Buddha, you were the noble Lichavi. On the glorious mountain, the protector knows the incomparable Lord Jigompa. To Lord Jigten Sylvan, I pray. May your teachings remain firm for 100 aeons. May the life and activities of those who uphold them flourish. May the monastic community grow and strive in the practice of the 3 vows. May all beings enjoy happiness and prosperity.
Okay, thank you. See you. Chicago Tim, Chokalak.
Thank you, everybody. See you back at 2. Thank you.
Yeah, do you see Ina?
So, Vici.
Kanche.
Thank you,
Vici.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ina. Thank you, Drupalam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ina. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rocco. Thank you, Daniel and Anna Sophia. We appreciate your translation so much.
What is the matter? What is going on? You're okay.